the huge organizational structures and all other things, you will know, but there is a long history. Before independence, Indian Railways were managed by the private companies. They were in the private sectors. Various names were there: Bengal Nagpur Railways, East India Railways, EIR, BNR, Northern Frontier Railways. Because I come from that part of country which had till today the two headquarters of two important railways, Eastern Railway and Southeastern Railways. Two general managers' offices are there. Though I did not have the privilege of presiding over this ministry, but as chairman, deputy chairman, planning commission, as finance minister several years, and you know you have your own budget, which no other ministry, which no other government department can claim that they have their separate budget. Volume-wise, perhaps some of the transactions of some of the ministries in course of time may surpass the railway budget. But in 1924, the railway budget was introduced because British government made experiment even during the colonial days with modern administrative systems, and they introduced, brought ingredients of the modernity in education, in transport, in administration. Immediately after, the East India Company had to transfer the authority of running this country after the first freedom struggle in 1857 through the Queen's Proclamation of 1858. And the modern administration was introduced. Railways were introduced little before that. Modern universities were established. Therefore, it was thought that when the general budget, making the budgeting started in the Governor General's Council in 1892 and became a regular annual feature, in 1924 it was thought necessary to have some sort of railways budget, because railways are to pay dividend to the Government of India. And the arrangement which was made at that point of time, that the quantum of dividend will not be decided arbitrarily. Till today we are following the Railway Convention Committee is appointed. Its character, composition might have changed, but the fact remains the Railway Convention Committee which make recommendations to the Railway Ministry to have that what dividend railway will pay to the general budget, to the general revenue. At one point of time, the major part of the railway's development, particularly during the first, second, third, fourth, 5-year plan, substantial part of the railway's developmental plan used to come through the gross budgetary support. And till today, every railway minister has a grudge and complaint to the finance minister. And several times I had to face that, Mr. Finance Minister, you are reducing our GBA's gross budgetary support, and we are to depend more on IEBR, internal and extra budgetary resources. On the one hand, it speaks of your hardship, no doubt, and especially those who will be recruited for the account service, they will have to deal with these things. There is overall Indian audit and account services. But particularly for railways and defense, the separate account services are required. In defense, the officers come from the regular services, but in railways, separate recruitment takes place because railway finance is complex. And naturally, accounting is also to be complete. Because you are not merely earning profit by carrying freight, by charging passenger fares, by providing amenities for that, but also you are serving the society. And always there is a dichotomy. And many railway ministers, and of course sometimes against the advices of the competent board like railway boards, finance commissioner in the railway board who is a regular member of the board. Sometimes the ministers are indulged because they represent the people's aspirations, people's desire, emphasize more on the social aspects than on the economic aspects. There is nothing wrong in it, but at the same time we shall have to always keep in mind that we must cut our coat according to our cloth. It cannot be disproportionate to our capabilities. Punctuality, cleanliness are two important hallmarks through which, and the quality of the services which you provide, whether in catering or providing linens or keeping the cleanliness of the compartments and washrooms. That speaks and creates the impression about the organization in the mind of the passengers. And please remember, not hundreds and thousands, but millions of passengers, not only Indians, many of them coming from abroad, they are using your services. Therefore, better services in the railways, better care by the railways, create a permanent impression on the mind about the image of the country, the type of services you can provide by your respective jobs. You are about to enter into your new job which you have opted yourselves, and you have been entitled through competitive examination, very difficult competitive examination. But what you shall have to do, you will have to say that yes, to further my individual career prospect, I will have to go to the top, but at the same time, I shall have to be top from the viewpoint of providing the best services to the people, to the country of this 1+ billion persons. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind.
Just 1 minute.